Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're unpacking what is arguably one of the absolute most scalable and honestly fascinating digital opportunities of 2026. We're talking about AI arbitrage. We are going to look at exactly how forward-thinking operators are taking raw, publicly available data and just transforming it into highly profitable private revenue streams. So if you've been wondering how artificial intelligence is actually shifting the economic landscape right now, how people are really making money with it, you are in exactly the right place. Information is everywhere, but clarity is rare. That pretty much sums up the modern crisis perfectly. Think about it. Businesses right now are literally drowning in data. There's government open initiatives, massive financial disclosures, satellite imagery, endless social media feeds, you name it, it's out there. But here's the secret. Nobody pays for raw data anymore. They pay for answers. They pay for faster decision-making, predictive intelligence, and basically getting their time back. They're starving for actionable insights, and they will gladly, happily open their wallets for clarity. And this brilliantly illustrates the shift. The traditional business model, well, it's all about inventing from scratch, right? Building the brand new app, creating an entirely new product. But AI arbitrage is completely different. Think of public data like crude, raw oil. On its own, it's noisy, it's overwhelming, and frankly, it's pretty useless to the average business. AI arbitrage acts as the modern refinery. It simply takes that free, messy data, refines it using AI, and extracts it premium product that solves a massive headache for a specific buyer. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll cover the opportunity. Then we'll break down the exact five-step framework. After that, we'll look at real-world use cases, followed by building your tech stack. And finally, we'll peek into the future of arbitrage. Don't worry, we're going to lay out the foundational concepts before we get into the exact tools you need to build this. All right, let's start with part one, the opportunity. Let's look at exactly what this is and why the economic timing is just perfect right now in 2026. Let's define our terms here so we're all on the same page. AI arbitrage is basically the process of extracting value from existing data and increasing its worth through AI-driven transformation. You're sourcing publicly available or low-cost data, you process and enhance it using AI, and then you convert it into a tool, a prediction, or a specialized insight. Finally, you package and sell it at a much higher value. It's like AI is simply the bridge between confusing, messy complexity and a really valuable outcome. But why is this blowing up right now? Well, three massive trends have converged. First, the explosion of public data is totally unprecedented. Second, the attention economy means people are just overwhelmed. The bottleneck isn't data access anymore, it's actually understanding it. But the biggest catalyst? AI has finally become completely accessible to individuals. Look, just a few years ago, building data products meant to needed a massive engineering team and heavy cloud infrastructure. Today, a solo operator can use large language models and automation tools to process millions of data points without knowing how to write a single line of code. It's a total game changer. Okay, now that we understand the why, let's get into the how. Section 2, the framework. We're moving from raw data to actual revenue. This isn't just some one-off tactic. It's a repeatable, reliable, five-step system. Let's move to and see how this builds. Step 1. Identify high-value, continuously updated public data that is super difficult to interpret manually. Think court records or sprawling real estate listings. Step 2. Apply AI to transform it. Step 3. Structure and store that nice, clean data in a database so it's easily searchable. Step 4. Package the output. Maybe that's a SaaS dashboard or even just a premium email newsletter. And finally, Step 5. Monetize it. Ideally, you want high-margin recurring subscriptions or a pay-per-lead model. So the crucial point is right here in step 2, the AI transformation. This right here is where the actual financial alchemy happens. Raw data magically becomes valuable through very specific transformations. For example, you might use summarization to condense a totally dense 100-page legal filing down into a snappy one-page risk report. Or prediction to forecast property value spikes based on neighborhood trends. You can use enhancement to rewrite listing descriptions, classification to organize messy e-commerce reviews by purchase intent, or personalization to generate custom reports for investors based on their specific risk profiles. You are literally creating clarity from chaos. Let's bring this down to earth. Section 3, real-world use cases. Let's look at where operators are actually finding the gold out there right now. Whether we're talking about real estate, cybersecurity, e-commerce, or finance, all of these niches share three key traits: really high financial stakes, highly complex data, and an urgent need for decision-making. Imagine taking public cybersecurity breach databases and using AI to score risk levels. You can package that into a security dashboard that enterprise clients will absolutely happily pay a monthly retainer for. Or in finance, transforming incredibly dense SEC filings into real-time trading signals. Businesses eagerly pay for this stuff because you're solving incredibly expensive problems in their high-stakes niches. Okay, so you're probably thinking, I want to build this. Let's move into Section 4, Building Your Tech Stack. These are the tools and, just as importantly, the rules of the game. Definitely take a screenshot of this one. Consider it your essential cheat sheet. The beautiful thing is, you do not need heavy infrastructure. For data collection, you're grabbing APIs, public datasets, or approved scrapers. For the heavy lifting of AI processing, GPT-based models or solid open-source equivalents are your engine. To stitch it all together, you're using automation platforms like N8N or Zapier. And for storage, cloud databases like Airtable, Supabase, or Postgres. That's the whole shebang. A complete system simply collects data daily, sends it to the AI, stores the output, and automatically delivers it to your user. The secret here is smart integration, not writing complex custom code. Now, we do need to warn you about the dragons on this journey. The absolute biggest mistake? Having no clear value proposition. Let's be brutally honest. Using AI to create insights that absolutely no one asked for is a notoriously fast track to zero revenue. If your output doesn't obviously save someone time or make them money, it's not going to sell. Other big pitfalls include overcomplicating your build before you even know if people want it, having weak marketing, because even the best data product dies without distribution, and finally, going too broad. In this specific space, broad tools struggle. Highly specialized, niche-down tools win every single time. We also have to talk about the rules of engagement. And actually, scratch that, responsible building isn't just about ethics, it is literally about business survival. Your long-term success depends completely on trust. The do's are pretty straightforward. Use official APIs when you can, add crystal clear disclaimers for any AI predictions, and be totally transparent about how you use data. The don'ts are equally vital. Do not violate platform terms of service, definitely do not scrape restricted data, and never ever sell sensitive personal data. Your focus has to be purely on transformation and insight, not just lazily duplicating someone else's copyrighted stuff. As we look toward the horizon, let's step into our final section, Section 5, the future of arbitrage. We're going to talk about mastery and your next steps for really scaling this up. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is it brings us to a critical question. What happens when the competition increases? Because let's face it absolutely will. As these AI tools become even more mainstream, just running a basic data set through an AI summarizer isn't going to be enough to keep your competitive moat. You have to start thinking a couple of steps ahead to defend your business. So, to stay ahead, you need advanced strategies. First up, layer multiple data sets. Don't just give them real estate data. Combine it with local crime statistics and school ratings to create this multidimensional insight that literally no one else has. Second, as you process this over time, your database becomes proprietary. It's totally unique to you. Third, build in network effects. Let users contribute feedback so your system gets smarter and more accurate. And most importantly, offer executed automation. Don't just send your client a passive report telling them what they should do. Actually trigger the campaign, send the alert, execute the workflow for them. That's huge. Which brings us to the core thesis of this entire explainer. The advantage has fundamentally shifted from simply access to data to quality of interpretation and speed of execution. The era of just hoarding data like a dragon on gold, it's over. We are firmly in the era of autonomous AI interpretation. The operators who are going to win big aren't the ones creating new data. They're the ones unlocking the hidden value from the data we already have and doing it faster and smarter than anyone else. And that leads us with one final vital question to ponder. How will you turn information into your unfair advantage? Think about it. The tools are accessible right now, the data is incredibly abundant, and the framework we just went through is proven. Your next step is simply to choose a high-demand niche, find that one valuable data source, and just apply that first AI transformation. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Now get out there and start building. Okay.